Hey guys, so we are in day 4. As you can see, I'm not home. So today is a busy day. I have a barbecue to go to with my mother. Something she really wanted to do, and I was like, okay, I'll come. So I'm not sure, but I just know it's Caribbean folks, so it's gonna be some good food. So far I started off this. So I read the third part was Bianca's Bridge, the middle passage. So it was okay. I find that I guess she's getting that realization that the man that she fell for, who's married, wasn't a good person. And so you're kind of going down the path of her remembering things that they did, things that made her believe he was something else than reality was, and how her relationship also with the Obi, her relationship with him. You can see it's a little strange, but I definitely see where it's going. Definitely see where it's going. I don't know yet, guys. I don't know yet. Let me know how y'all feel. Let me know how you feel so far. I don't know. I feel like I want more. And for how far in I am in the book, where we at now? $229. I need more. So that's where I'm at with this. So we'll come back to this. And then I feel like these are calling me. Again, small books. So I think I might pick this up, and because it's just giving me like, I'm gonna enjoy it for the comedy part of it. Oh, sorry guys, I am tired. I had to drive and to get here, and you can see, well, you can't see, but over there I'm still uploading day 2 and 3 to my YouTube. It is going to be probably a few minutes late. Oh Lord. Alright, it's 2 minutes. 2 minutes. So it might be on time. And then I have to go to the nail salon because my feet don't look cute. And I'm considering, since it's a barbecue and I want to be colorful, of wearing this dress. I haven't worn it yet, so wear it and take pictures in it. But I also have the denim, but I think the denim is too dressy. This is the one that was on the mannequin, but I think it's too dressy. So I'm just gonna save this for tomorrow. Maybe go to dinner tomorrow. But I think this is more festive, and it's, you know, it's gonna be comfy and I can eat without worrying about my belly. So that's what we're gonna do. Alright guys, let me finish this up and head to get my feet done. Yay. Hey guys, so it's actually a really nice day to be outside. Thank God the smoke and all that cleared up. Oof. I'm also kind of hungry, and I'm also trying to save my belly because I have about 2 hours before we get to the barbecue. But then I'm like, I don't know these people, so I don't really want to be greedy. So maybe I should just eat something light before I get there. So that's what I'm gonna do. So yeah, see y'all in a minute. because you got say hi. Bye. Hey guys, so I am wearing a dress that I made, another one. Gotta take pictures, guys. I need it for my junk journal that I have for my sewing projects, just to wear, and then I need to wear them. This is one that I wore that I did not sit down in to realize that when I sit down it is showing a lot of boobie, but I don't care. So this is the one that I really like because it's just so much going on. You can see how it's shaped and the belt situation, but because it's in black you don't get to see a lot, which I going to be making in the hot pink fabric that I have, that I was going to make a jumpsuit in, but I cannot find a 16-inch zipper that is close to that color. So I'm going to scratch that and get some white fabric next week to make the jumpsuit that I really wanted to make. And then I'm going to probably use the pink to make maybe another one of this. Or there is a vintage pattern that I have that is also similar, but it's not going to give me it's not going to give me boobage. So it's going to be up here. So I think I might do that. I don't know, but you know, I would tell y'all. So yesterday I also wore my loud African print dress. Absolutely love it. It was very comfortable, very fitting for the weather. It got a little colder towards the end, but it was very fitting, and I had a good time yesterday. If you follow me on my Instagram, you know all about the shenanigans of yesterday. It was interesting going to a barbecue 2.5 hours late, and you know, it started at 1, we got there at 3:40, and the fire wasn't even lit, guys. So, and I had a patty. Remember I told the clip before and I said I'm gonna eat at least something. So I had a patty, and I'm thinking if I didn't have the patty I would have been like, let's go. But we had a good time because my mother enjoyed herself, and these days I cherish seeing her smile, and I cherish seeing her dancing. So it was worth it for that part, to see her out the house, out about, enjoying herself, smiling. I had my 2 nieces and nephew with me, so it was a pack car, and she was enjoying herself, so that was worth it. Because this introvert was by myself when that happened, I would have went home. So overall, yeah. So today was supposed to be a brunch dinner kind of with my friend that got cancer. She's not feeling well. So me and my mother is gonna hit up an Ethiopian restaurant later today. It is new, we've never ate there, so let's hope we're not disappointed, but we're gonna check it out. But for now, this is the only plan today, so I get to cuddle up with this. So this is the final passage. Now in a previous video, I think it was the first video of where I talked about either was gonna be this or Thunder What Storm, that I did read both first chapters in both, and I really wanted to continue with what Storm, What Thunder, because it gripped me, but I also felt like it would have put me in a not so great mood. It was heavy. I mean heavy. That first pretty much a story of the earthquake and the loss of children for a character. I just was like, I had to put that book down. I said I'm going to pick it up after CaribAthon because that book is just way too heavy for me to really read during a readathon. So that will be picked up because that was like so good, but also so heavy. But this one gives me more like mix up on blender, because you have this woman who is leaving. She's an excuse of her leaving is to go with her mother who's sick, to England. And it starts off where she is on the passage to go. She is headed on a ship, and she is going to go with her child. So now we are now in home, where it's going, you're getting the gist of the story behind her husband. And this is pre-marriage, where things are happening. The man the man is a cheat, pretty much. Man have a mistress, man have pitney. Look like the mistress I gonna have pitney. Something more in there, so I'm not far in, but it just give me a mix up. So I'm glad that the story started off where she's leaving, because she needs to leave. But what really happened is what I'm going to be getting into as the story goes on. So this mix up, even though it's a Sunday. So I am going to keep going. It's like I said, it's not that long, and I absolutely think I can finish this book by tonight, even with the distraction. So yeah, all right, come back later. I'm gonna go relax a little, wait till my mother come back from church, and then take some picture of my dress, and then we're gonna eat. And I come home, put my nightie, I lay down and read my book. Alright guys, see you in a few. Yeah. Check out my mother.
It's right next door to the place.
On her red.
So
and the scarf.
we wasn't dressed, and the weather just changed suddenly. Reason I went in there the first time. The weather changed suddenly when
So
Fridays was
guys, the
waiting
Ethiopian restaurant was a bus.
was waiting
They don't
for
open
the,
till later.
Uber to the
So we're not doing that.
accessorize to come, and it got chilly. And the place where we went was like 2 doors from there. So I went in there to see guys.
Are you gonna finally give a Papa hi now?
Hello. So I went in there to get this coffee.
That's all you're getting. Hey guys, so day 6. So today was just a long day guys, a long day. You know, I'm home and I had a great weekend, and got to part 4. It is my favorite part. I don't remember the title of part 4. Obadiah Cortland, the tip of the spear. I love the letter. The letter in part 4 was definitely heartfelt, and I started really like looking at Bianca in a different way. And I like how the decision that they have to make, and even just the relationship she's having with everybody around her, including her family. I like the growth in this. So far, my favorite part was definitely part 4. And yeah, a lot of stuff happened in part 4. So keeping going. I have, I think it's 6 parts. Yep. So I have 2 more parts to go, and then I'll be done, and I will give you my thoughts. Not sure how much I'm gonna say, because I want to save it for when we do have the group chat. The book I did finish, the final passage, called Phillips. This is a St. Kitts author. This is that book when you think of that phrase, when someone show you who they are the first time, believe them. This is that kind of book. This follows a young woman who had signs that this man was not good for her, yet she married this man. And you get so many moments in this that should have been like that red flag that she did not, you know, paid attention to. Even though there's certain things she knew as the story goes on, you knew that she knew some of the things that this man has done. But you don't really know why. But I think this is one of those stories that you get to really understand at points in the story why she made some of the decisions that she made. And one of the big ones is the fact that she never knew her father, and by her light skin, it was very much known that that her father was not someone that lives in the community, that her father was white. And it goes back to when you think of the age of her mother and at 40 and her age, that her mother had to be extremely young when she got involved and was vulnerable and taken advantage by someone that's probably just came to visit, and she got really fooled. And so there's that experience she has in trying to prevent her daughter from experiencing that as well, but it didn't work out that way. In this, her mom is not well, and she kind of hidden it a little bit of how bad she is feeling when she decided to leave without telling her. So now she's picking up her family to go to England, but life is different. Life is not what she thought. And this is one of those stories that I am fist pumping at the end, where you think of people just realizing, pack it up, go yard. Yard better than the situation. That's to think of this story because it's an immigration story, and there's a few immigration stories that I've ever loved the ending of, where people realize there's certain struggle that is just not good. Living in an apartment, or what they call a flat, where you don't have your own bathroom, you don't have your own kitchen, and you don't even have a safe room to think when you think of the situation that she was living in. Where she came from, it's a home. It's not the grandest home, but it's a nice home, and it was hers and her. It was her mom's, where she had a roof over her head. And yes, they're struggling. They're poor in their island, but life was still better than what a lot of immigrants find themselves in when they decide to leave their tiny island. So I like this part. Now the husband Michael in this, his parents passed away. He's raised by his grandparents, and there's things about him that you are realizing why he does all the stuff that he does, but he's still not likable, because at some point you still have to take responsibility for your own action. You cannot just on impulse, because of the tragedy that you face, the pain, the sadness, depression that might have hit you, and you're doing some of the things. There's one part where the grandfather wrote, and I really like this part. And it's written, one of the things about this that I also like, the dialogue is really written in that in Caribbean way. So you must hate enough, and you must be angry enough to get just what you want, but no more. No more, for if you do, you're just going to end up hating yourself. Too much laughing is bad for the colored man. Too much sadness is bad for the colored man, but too much hated is the baddest of them all, and can destroy a colored man for true. That's the part where the grandfather was talking to him. There's another one. There's other parts in this that I thought was interesting. The conversation the grandfather was having with him, and I like that part. There's also some message in this as well from the mother to her daughter, and she didn't listen. She didn't listen, but she got it at the moments where I love the ending. I love that Pagapanga yard message. Pagapanga yard. Suffer yard, not abroad. That kind of message. I'm like that in this. I do love her friends, because at the end of the day she had good friends that was supportive, and she wasn't going to be alone, even though tragedy hits and she's, all she has is her and her children, but she still had these friends that were like very supportive, that was okay living on them tiny island. I'm fine with it. I love that part of the story. This is again it is set in the 1950s. This is when a lot of people were leaving the islands and going to England, and not knowing what they're going to meet, not knowing that oftentimes they weren't, a lot of community did not want them there, so they were only option were just really run down, horrible community that they were, that people were renting them to, not even telling them how it really looks. So there's a lot of that, you get that with Saul What's the other author? The Housing Lark. You think of him, you think of this other book that I read by him as well, The Lonely Londoners. That's another one that you really get an idea of the 50s and the 60s and how people were living. So it was rough. It was rough. But I think for me, I do prefer the older Caribbean stories in England than the more modern one. Because the more modern one, especially one that I've read early in the year, it's focused a lot more on violent stuff versus I think the older historical ones focus on struggling and trying to make ends meet and on a, in a land that's not yours, that kind of deal. So I like reading these kind of historical fiction that is Caribbean, living in England during the 50s and 60s. So highly recommend this. I enjoyed this. This was definitely very Caribbean, very much, the stories of your grandparents kind of deal, and the struggles, and and how some of them end up alone with raising their kids alone, and the man gone about in business. Yeah. So I enjoyed this, recommend it, and yeah, so that is book number what? 1, 2, 3. No. Yeah, 3, 4. Yeah, book number 4. Yeah, they all small because, trying to get them in. So I have one other book I'm picking up, and it is not a book that I've hauled. Somebody recommended it, so I think that's what I'm going to go with next. But I might change my mind. I'm not 100% sure what I'm picking up next. So next book I pick up, I'm not reading anything tonight because I'm exhausted. I'm going to edit this, and hopefully you guys get this on time. If not, it'll probably be a day late because my internet's slow. So anyway, see you guys in the next one, guys. Bye.